Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel.
Have you ever felt completely drained after a party, even if you had a good time? Or maybe you find yourself needing a whole weekend alone just to feel like yourself again after a busy week. If this sounds familiar, chances are you're an introvert. But here's the thing a lot of people don't realize. Introversion isn't just one single personality trait. It's a huge, fascinating spectrum. For a long time, society has kind of painted introverts with one broad brush. You know the stereotype? Quiet, shy, maybe a little awkward, and definitely not the life of the party. But that's a massive oversimplification. Being an introvert simply means you recharge your energy through solitude, whereas extroverts get their energy from being around other people. It's about energy, not shyness or social skills. Think of your social battery. An extrovert might start the day with 50% and end a party with 100%. An introvert might start at 100% and leave that same party feeling completely empty, needing to plug in at home. The idea that introversion is more complex than we thought isn't just a hunch. Jonathan Cheek, a psychology professor at Wellesley College, conducted research that identified 4 distinct types of introverts. He called them the STAR model: social, thinking, anxious, and restrained. Understanding which type or types you lean towards can be a game changer. It can help you understand your own needs better, explain them to others, and even improve your relationships. So today, we're going to dive deep into these 4 types. You might just see yourself in one or even a combination of them. Let's get started. First up, we have the social introvert. Now, this might sound like a contradiction, but it's actually one of the most common types. A social introvert isn't necessarily shy. They can be outgoing, charismatic, and genuinely enjoy social events like parties or group hangouts. But here's the key difference. They have a strict time limit. They can be the center of a great conversation, laughing and engaging, but after a couple of hours, their internal battery starts flashing red. That's their cue to make a graceful exit. They leave not because they're not having fun, but because they've hit their social capacity and need to go home to recharge. Social introverts value deep connections over a wide circle of acquaintances. They prefer a small, tight-knit group of friends who they can truly be themselves with. With these close friends, they can be incredibly open and loyal. However, with people outside this inner circle, they tend to be more reserved and private. They don't feel the need to share personal details with everyone they meet. So if you are someone who loves going out with your best friends for a bit but feels an overwhelming urge to go home while the party is still going strong, you might be a social introvert. You're not antisocial. You're just selectively social. You know your limits and you honor them, which is a really healthy way to navigate the world. Next on our list is the thinking introvert. This is the classic head-in-the-clouds introvert. If you've ever been told you're a daydreamer or that you seem to live in your own world, this type might resonate with you. Thinking introverts aren't necessarily avoiding social situations. Instead, their main focus is internal. They have a rich, complex inner world filled with imagination, introspection, and deep thought. They are the poets, the philosophers, the artists who can get lost for hours just pondering an idea or exploring a fantasy world in their minds. They are incredibly self-aware and in tune with their own feelings and thoughts. They spend a lot of time analyzing their own experiences and trying to understand themselves on a deeper level. This makes them wonderfully creative and insightful. However, they often find it difficult to translate their intricate inner world into words. They might have a brilliant, multi-layered concept in their head, but when they try to explain it, it feels like they're losing the magic. They prefer to experience their thoughts rather than articulate them. So, while they might seem quiet or distracted to an outsider, their minds are actually buzzing with activity. They're not being distant. They're just busy exploring the fascinating universe inside their own head. They are the observers, the dreamers, and the deep thinkers of the introvert family. Now let's talk about the anxious introvert. This type is a bit different because their preference for solitude is often driven by a sense of unease or self-consciousness in social settings. Unlike social introverts who might enjoy parties for a little while, anxious introverts can feel uncomfortable even when they're with people they know and trust. Their minds tend to race with what-ifs. What if I say something stupid? What if they think my outfit is weird? They often find themselves replaying social interactions over and over in their heads, analyzing everything they said and did, and cringing at perceived mistakes. This anxiety can make them crave solitude as a safe escape from the overwhelming pressure of social judgment, whether it's real or imagined. They might feel on edge in new situations or large crowds, constantly monitoring their own behavior. Now it's really important to make a distinction here. Being an anxious introvert is not the same as having social anxiety disorder, which is a clinical condition. For an anxious introvert, the feelings are more a part of their personality, a tendency to be hyper-aware and self-critical in social contexts. If this sounds like you, remember to be kind to yourself. Your feelings are valid, and it's okay to seek out quiet spaces where you feel safe and calm. Taking that time alone isn't avoidance, it's self-care. And if these feelings of anxiety feel overwhelming and are significantly impacting your life, it's always a good idea to talk to a mental health professional. There's no shame in getting support. Finally, we have the restrained introvert, also known as the reserved introvert. These are the individuals who think before they speak and then think again. They operate at a slower, more deliberate pace. You won't see them jumping into a new situation headfirst. They prefer to observe from the sidelines, get a feel for the environment, and then carefully decide if and how they want to engage. They take time to warm up to people and situations. Someone might mistake their reserved nature for being aloof or uninterested, but that's not it at all. They are simply processing. Restrained introverts value predictability and routine. They find comfort in their habits and can feel thrown off by unexpected changes or surprises. A last-minute invitation to a big event? That's probably their worst nightmare. They need time to mentally prepare for social outings. Their perfect evening is often a quiet one at home, relaxing with a book, a movie, or a familiar hobby. They aren't driven by anxiety like the anxious introvert. They just genuinely prefer a calm and controlled environment. They are thoughtful, reliable, and once they do decide to act or speak, you can be sure they've given it plenty of consideration. They move through life with a quiet confidence that comes from knowing themselves and what makes them feel comfortable and secure. So, after hearing about the social, thinking, anxious, and restrained introverts, did any of them stand out to you? It's really common to see a bit of yourself in more than one type. You might be a thinking introvert who also has tendencies of a social introvert, enjoying deep conversations with a few friends but also spending a lot of time in your own head. Or maybe you're a restrained introvert who also experiences social anxiety from time to time. We are complex human beings, and these categories are not rigid boxes. They are tools for self-understanding. The real power in knowing this is that it gives you the language to understand and communicate your needs. Instead of just saying, "I'm an introvert, I need to go home," you could say, "I've had a great time, but my social battery is running low and I need some quiet time to recharge." Or, "I need a little time to think about that before I give you an answer. I'm a bit of a restrained processor." This helps the extroverts in your life, your friends, family, and coworkers understand that your behavior isn't a reflection on them. It's just how you're wired. This understanding fosters empathy and strengthens your relationships. Your extroverted friend will learn not to take it personally when you leave a party early. Your partner will understand why you need a quiet hour to yourself after a long day at work. And most importantly, you will learn to stop feeling guilty for needing that alone time. You'll stop trying to force yourself to be someone you're not. Embracing your specific type of introversion is an act of self-love. It's about creating a life that honors your natural energy patterns, allowing you to show up as your best, most authentic self in the world. So, which type of introvert are you? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories and experiences. Thanks so much for watching today. I hope this gave you some new insights into your own personality. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content on psychology and self-improvement. Until next time, take care and honor your energy. Bye.